Hello, welcome to the bench. Today this is going to be a look at and a little bit of a use on the what has just been released by Mig Ammo, and that's his dry brush paint range. I've got a few, I haven't got the full range. I've bought more myself, so no one's given me anything. It's not a freebie for Dave or anything like that. I've gone out and bought them myself. The thing that I've kind of noticed to start off with is when you look at them on sites where you can buy them, the colour difference between what you see on the screen and what actually arrives, there is a little bit of a difference, so keep that in mind. It's not a bad thing or anything like that, but I thought I'd mention it because that, according to Mig, is medium blue, but when you look at it on the charts on the internet, this blue is a little bit darker, so be a little bit careful. And the same with this, is light rust. It's a little bit more orangey than rust, but not a bad thing, because you can mix it with what they call ordinary or medium rust, so you might be able to get a slight different colouring by mixing the two together. Another one that I noticed, this is medium green. That's medium green. It's I think it's quite a light green, but according to the chart and according to what it says on the pot, it says medium green, but make of it what you will. However, when you use these, as I've done, I've used a little bit of this blue on a little painting tile that I got in my paint box to do this little character. They do brush on really well and really nicely, so we can kind of forgive the colour difference between what's shown on the chart to what you actually get, but just keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do now is, I've got a selection of brushes that you could use for dry brushing. We've got a Army Painter small dry brush, which I've never used, so it's going to get a christening today. We've got a couple of AK brushes, a angled one and a filbert one, and we've got the same for Mig Ammo. We got a number 6 filbert and a number 6 angled, so we'll see how we get on with them. The tester is the current build that I'm doing at the moment, which is the Chinook from Revell in 1/72. What I am aiming to do is to use some of the gunmetal just to go over the raised areas, just to give it that look that it's been used and abused, walked on, stuff's been dragged about and moved on it, but I don't want to overdo it. So without further ado, he says, looking for the right one. Yeah, this is gunmetal. It is very dark, but it could be a good thing if you've got a little bit of the steel colour to go over the top of it, just to give it that look of where some of the metal has been polished a little bit. which I haven't got, and I now regret not buying it because I thought this was going to be a bit lighter than it was, and I didn't think I would need both. But my mistake. I should have gone with what my head was telling me and not anything else, and I decided to go against it, and yeah, I kind of regret not getting that one. So that'll be one that I will be getting in the new year now. There's no point trying to order it and expect it to be here before Christmas, because that's just a bit silly. So what we're going to do is I'm going to use the army painter brush because it's small and I should be able to get into the area. I shouldn't have stuck the floor in on the side of the Chinook, but I was moving ahead and then suddenly thought, oh, I'll have a go at this, and stopped. So if I remember right, you don't shake them up, you just open them up and you use them. It says desperately trying to check on the side of the bottle to see what it says. It just says moisten the brush with the colour and wipe it off onto a paper towel, then gently rub on the surface to subtly deposit the remaining colour until the surface detail pops out. That is it. So when you open this, they will look a bit like treacle. It's probably the best way to describe it. However, stick with it. It does work. In we go for a bit of paint, and then we get a dirty old bit of kitchen towel, and literally just do what you would normally do with dry brushing. And then hopefully you can see what I'm up to. Just gently wipe it on. Let the brush do the work and let it go on where it goes on. I'm mainly concentrating at this end of the Chinook because this is where it's going to get the brunt of the wear and tear. Never mind. Go along the side as well. Looks like it's been. This is what I could have done with the light silver, because I could have gone over with what I'm doing now with the lighter silver, or lighter metal, sorry. That would have given it a bit more contrast and given it a better look. So what I will do is I shall try a little bit of oily steel and see if that helps, but I don't want to overdo it. And the same where we've got what would be what's going to look like being an entranceway, so we're might use a bit of chipping on here as well, just to see if that works a bit better. Whether this is coming out on camera, I don't know, but I will try it. I will take some still shots and put on the end as a little slideshow. You just need to have a little bit of patience and take your time, because to the naked eye there is a change on here. I don't know if changing it like that can get any detail, or if you can see what's going on, but it is subtly changing colour as I work on it. So we're we'll have a go with some chipping as well. And they all, yeah, it's all a bit thick. Have a go with a number 6 angled brush from Mig Ammo, and see if this will give us a little bit of a dirt and muck. Especially around here. Hopefully you can see that has, I hope, come out, and you can see there is a slight colour difference. So what I'm going to use next is a bit of dark yeah, they're saying that this is dark sand. Yeah, okay, but it can work to my advantage because I can use that as a bit of a highlight, just to pick out maybe some fresh dirt and muck that's been trodden in a few spots. So we carry on using the Mig brush, so we pick this one out and load up some of this. And then just keep wiping until virtually nothing is on the paper towel. So, more mainly around around the entrance. Just put some on. Just to give it a subtle look of some new traffic over where it's a bit dirty. And that, I'm hoping this is coming out because I can't really see at the moment what you're seeing, but hopefully you'll see a slight colour difference between there and there, and at the back end I'm trying to get it so that maybe, yeah, so there should be, you should be able to see there's slightly darker here, there's some darker staining here, which is what I want. I don't want it massively darkened at all, and it's still a little bit light in and around here. So what I'm going to do now is use some Vallejo oily steel, just gently wipe over and around this area, just to suggest that this is an area that had more damage done, or damage, wear and tear done to it. So bear with me a sec. If I'd done what I should have done, and that's ordered the light steel, then I would have been using the light steel instead of this, but like a bug, I didn't go with my conviction. And I was also looking at the colour chart on the screen, and I genuinely thought that the gunmetal was going to be a bit of a lighter metal colour than what I've actually got, but it's not a problem. And all I'm just wiping a few areas, just right at the edge. Right. I have no idea if that has come out, but hopefully you should see some little flecks of something a little bit brighter on there, suggesting that some fresh wear and tear has been put on, rather than it sort of dulled over time with a bit of age and a bit of dirt. So the next bit that I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do this slightly differently, in that all I've done on here excuse me, is all I've got on here is the primer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this. I'm going to try and make this a little bit more warm. I think I might have to have some more in my brush. So let's go back in with a bit more gunmetal. Because what I'm going to do is, when it's all dry and before I put the base coat on, I'm going to put some chipping fluid over the top of this, then put the base colour on, and then do the chipping and see what comes out from underneath. And see if that's a different way of using this. So really sort of going over the main middle area, leaving the edges, because that's not quite where it's going to get damaged so much. Because that's where it will get a lot of damage. Maybe on the edges here, when something doesn't quite go on straight, maybe being loaded in a rush. What we're looking for. And we'll go over it again with a bit of chipping as well, because this is a nice brown, a nice dirty brown as well, so we can give it a little bit of dirt as well as suggesting some of the metal has become exposed right underneath. You can concentrate in the middle. Quite a bit down here, and also so it might make it look like the troops have come in from different angles, so especially around here, and it's scuffed up the edges. We use a bit of the sand as well, just the dark sand, just to give that impression of some fresh damage as well. And I think we keep that right down. do some still shots as well, and hopefully you'll be able to see what I've done. When we do that, we go back in again with the oily steel. Kind of just randomly around the edges, along the lip. So hopefully you can see what I've done, and then later on I'll go over that with some chipping fluid, let that go off, and then put a base colour on, and then start removing it and see what comes through, and hopefully it will look worn, knackered and gnarly, which is what I'm looking for. Right. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what the dry brush paints are like. They are thick and stodgy. As I said, just be aware that what you see on the websites, on the paint charts, it might be a little bit different what arrives at your front door. So with that, I will simply say thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you